Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 498. Good coffee. What we have OG with us. Don't mess with the hobby. Sounds like one and the same. I like it. Two thumbs up. Thank you. Ken, been up since 3:30. Oof. I was early today about so I'm a little really good this morning. Jenny, what's up to you? Good morning. So it's Topps release day. Not too excited. Get into that. Yesterday, I wearing the Badgers. Big win last night at Indiana, which is my wife's alma mater. But she's not really into sports. She doesn't follow the Hoosiers. She roots more for the Badgers. So did watch the game. In fact, it was one of those where I knew late game, 8 o'clock tip off, and I just like disinterested. I'm in that like funk. I'm in that mid-season funk of college basketball. November, December, I'm super pumped, jacked up, love it. And then January, early February, it's just kind of like the dog days of college hoops. So not too excited to watch the games. My excitement will be rejuvenated once the conference tournaments begin here in, gosh, next week, 2 weeks. I think they begin in, probably a week and a half, maybe. I'll have to look that up. So I watched a great show last night, by the way. Ken and Herman had Rich and John on talking about food issue cards. That was fun. I'm not like a big food issue I only collect Cubs. But I've never really been super attracted to food issues. I have some junk wax kid. My first food issue memory was the I have a bunch of panels that I acquired in a collection years ago. Still have some panels. Actually have a couple full boxes that feature Cubs. I think I have a Sandberg on a full box, and I think Jody Davis from Kraft macaroni and cheese. So I do remember like those are some of my earliest memories of cards, or the Kraft on the side of the box. And then of course there was some cereal cards post, I think, and post goes back, but I remember collect is the Thornapple Valley Cubs set that was released in 1983. So it's got a rookie year Sandberg. And technically, the first, and this was also mentioned, the first Ryan Sandberg Major League Baseball card was actually a food issue by Red Lobster in 1982. In 1983, which is his mainstream Topps Fleer Donruss rookies. There was also a Thornapple Valley, which also featured a rookie of Joe Carter in a Cubs uniform. And then his rookie came out the following year, 84 Donruss rated rookie. So those are some of my favorites. And I can't remember what fast food, but it's basically like a Happy Meal, but it had discs, and you took you could pop the discs out of the Happy Meal box. And I've got the flattened box. I can't remember Burger World. I can't remember what fast food joint it was. So let's see. Let's go into the chat. Yeah, I think I had a connection blur just a moment ago. Ed, good morning to you. Let's see. Dan's with us. Good evening to Dan. Shaw Cards, what's up? Ken says, I'm not a big food issue guy either, but it was nice for us to do something different on the show. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Your connection, connection sucks. What's up, Zach? Good morning to you. Has anyone watched any of the Rip Party of Topps? I haven't. Couldn't care less this year. Zero interest in that event, says Dan. Zero interest in Series 1, period. I likely won't be on Twitter much today. So my day yesterday consisted of I listed a bunch of 70, basically 7 store. Some of those were from the Goodwill purchase, and I've got my monster box Reddit file exchange listing today. And yes, I'll probably make a target run just to see if there's been some top series stocked, because I am going to open it. Now, am I excited? No, but I am. But I do want to open some top series one. Um, Jenny says, yes, it's nice to target all aspects of collecting, keeps all interested. The only way I could care less about series one would be if I was dead. Selling some Japanese Menkos for $4 each. What's up, Herman? See, Ken, I have the same thoughts of NASCAR hockey as I do. Your thoughts on Top Series one are my thoughts on hockey, NASCAR, and soccer. I don't care about any of those. So Top Series one day, and usually this is the point of FOMO for me. What's up, L Dave? Good morning to you. Usually this is the FOMO where I'm just foaming at the mouth, wanting to rip Top Series one. And I don't have that. I don't have that this year because pitchers and catchers were supposed to report this week. Spring training should be, players should be out in Florida and Arizona getting ready for spring training to begin. And they're not, because the stupid owners and the players are in a stalemate. And I'm not optimistic anymore. I was optimistic up until about Saturday morning. Like even Saturday morning, this past Saturday, I'm like, pitchers and catchers are supposed to report, in the next couple days, and they're meeting today. They're going to get a deal done because they can't risk losing any time. And they didn't. And it sounds like from, Jeff Passan's tweet yesterday or the day before, it just sounds like they're being stubborn on each side and they're not coming to an agreement. And I get it, it's business, but long term, if they don't get this damn deal done, it's going to hurt them even more so long term than what they'll have to concede in the negotiation. So it's really frustrating. It's frustrating for me, and I'm sure all other baseball fans. So I'm no longer optimistic. Like now it's just get the damn deal done and let's get on with our baseball lives. So, and I still haven't booked. I'm going to Arizona end of March, but I haven't booked my trip, and I'm just kind of like, it's kind of a wait and see. It might be a last minute, and that's the good thing about working for yourself. You can just kind of book flight on a whim, and I don't have kids, so that also helps. So it's like, okay, hey, I'm gonna book a flight for, tomorrow, and I'm going to Arizona for a week. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like I'm planning on going the last week in March and piggyback it with the big card show in Phoenix that last weekend in March. But I'm just it's kind of a wait and see. Because the minor league season will still be played. There's still minor league spring training, so it won't be all for naught. There'll still be some minor league stuff going on at the complexes. So baseball, get a damn deal in place. Come on, we want baseball. Let's go back to the chat real quick. Jenny says, best part of last night's show, Herman, I didn't know we were on Periscope. Ken, you're the one running this thing. The difference is that none of hockey, NASCAR, or soccer are shoved down your throat on social media like Series 1. Ken, you're following the wrong people then. Follow different people. It's not shoved down your throat if you're not consuming. And that's on you, man. That's on you. You're choosing to see that. You're choosing to see that. Tom says, I took the day off to try and get a box on the website. I have my expectations set really low, but I'm going to try and make a run at getting a hobby box. I I'm going to share something that I'm just going to buy blasters. I'm going to share something that I saw last night was a real eye opener on 2022 Series 1. Yeah. I'm no longer, there's going to be a lot less optimism until a deal actually gets done. Of course, I say that, and tomorrow morning might be a different story. Jenny says baseball is safe until opening day. A good chunk of people don't follow pre-opening day, but they do once the season is full blown. No opening day, big issues, and I agree to an extent on that. If it starts getting delayed, so what happens? It's kind of a domino effect. So right now, there's really not any danger of losing. If a deal were struck in the next few days, there's really not, it's not going to affect the season. But if it lingers on a couple of weeks, even though it's still the month of February on the calendar, that time to train and get prepared for a season, so that's going to affect the season. So it's kind of a domino effect. If they don't get a deal done, and time is really running out. Like we've had all winter to get a deal in place where it wouldn't affect the start of the season. But now we're actually in the early stages of spring training. The first couple days, pitchers and catchers reporting, getting physicals and all that stuff done, paperwork and all that. So yes, there's still some time, but the longer this lingers, if it goes 2 weeks, if there's not a deal, by the end of February, the start of the season's in jeopardy, and that's gonna affect things greatly. Um, L. Dave says, I need baseball. I'll catch a bunch of minor league games out here, but I want the bigs to get going. Absolutely. I still plan my spring training trip, watch minor league baseball when I'm out there, go to games here, but it's just not the same. It's not the same. I think I know what you're going to share on Top Series 1. Zach says you need to create Twitter lists to Ken. That's a great point. That is a great point. They avoid the algorithms and display in real time. You pick who you see. I have one called Junk Wax of the Hobby, Bears and White Sox. That's a great idea. That way it's not shoved down your throat. So you're saying, so Ken, go read Zach's comment. Read Zach's comment. Let's see. So Jenny says a ton of people I know go to games but care less about anything really baseball, more than going on the field and having a beer or two with friends. They'll go to St. Paul Saints instead. Absolutely. So Tom said he's looking to get a hobby box. I was tinkering with the idea of getting a couple hobby boxes, and every year, and I've said this before, every year I don't really get excited for Top Series 1 until the week of. Now I should be excited today, and I'm not, because of the lockout mainly, but also because of what I saw on Twitter last night, which I'm going to get into. Yes, I have lists, but barely use or update them. Update them, and then you won't have to complain about seeing all the stuff you don't want to see. So last night I see this tweet, and that it really it was an eye opener. It's like, there's no way I'm spending $125 on a hobby box of Series 1. By the way, Series 1 is so overproduced anyway. People are spending like $50 for a Wander Franco rookie card. And, if you counterpoint that with, yeah, we'll look at the Mike Trout rookie card, that's Topps update. And that was 11 years ago. This is Series 1. Remember, Series 1, they print more of Series 1 than Series 2, and certainly Topps update. Number 2, Series 1 is also in the factory sets, and they print those to the moon and have like 5 different variation boxes. They have team sets. So if there's a rookie in Series 1, or really even to an extent Series 2, they're all over the place. Like, they're everywhere. It's a dime a dozen. And people right now are paying $50 for a Wander Franco, and I think even one sold for like $65 for a base rookie card of Wander Franco. And yes, I do believe it's his rookie card. That's another story, and I've probably already talked about it, so I won't go into that. But I saw this tweet, and I brought it up. The Twitter handle is GeoWiz34. And I did just some quick confirming just to see if it was accurate. It appears accurate, but I'm not 100% sure. But it does look correct from the past years. So these are the odds going back, including this year, last year, 2019, 2020. So in 2019, the odds of pulling a gold. So back then it was of 2019. The odds were one in every 5 pack, and I remember that you buy a box of tops and you have a small pile of tops gold parallels. 1 in 5 packs. Now that went up to 1 in 14 packs in 2020, doubled again in 2021. Now remember, 2021, we're right, Top Series 1 is released right during the height of the hobby boom, the COVID boom, and it was 1 in 27 packs to get a gold. Just 2 years prior, it was 1 in 5. That's gone up again. It's going to take you 38 packs to pull a gold, when just 3 years ago it was 1 in 5 packs. 1 in 5 packs to 1 in 38 packs to pull a gold. So that's, and he also breaks down advanced stats, vintage stock. Vintage stock has gone from 1 in 97 packs in 2019 to 2022 odds on a vintage stock 1 in 789 packs. What else is there? The Independence Day parallels. 2019, the odds were 1 in 126 packs. This year's product, 1 in 1,000 packs. Mother's Day hot pink parallels, 2019, 1 in 191 packs. This year's product, 1 in 1,519 packs. Let's see. Short prints. You got a short print in 2019, 1 in every 15 packs. 2022, 1 in 112 packs. So those are the odds. So that means there's a whole bunch of Top Series 1 2022 being printed. So I'm still gonna go out and look for the blaster boxes, look for retail, but I'm not gonna go dive in head first with a bunch of hobby boxes or a case or anything like that. Go back to the chat. Zach says, you know what is more exciting than Series 1? Ron Gant and Matt Williams rookies. I still enjoy when I found those. Ballers. Fall Creek collectibles. Yeah, the only Wander you're going to want is numbered. Let's see. Jenny says, I'd like to see the comparison to 2015 or 2017, even versus 2019 or today. Remember 2019. Yeah, so the hobby, 2018 was like the beginning, because 2017 was still, prices were still really low. But then Aaron Judge really started things off. And we were off to the races in 2018. I think gold, I think the odds on a gold, so 2019, it was 1 in 5 packs. It might have been 1 every 2 packs or 3 packs back prior to that boom, back in like 2017, maybe even 18. Otani Chase started everything. It was actually Judge. So Judge started the big boom in mid 2017, and that's when we saw the pre-sale prices because before Otani was even thought of to be in 2018 products, the pre-sale prices on Bowman had doubled because of the Aaron Judge hype train that hit us in the summer of 2017. Because that's when I stopped buying Bowman hobby, and it didn't quite double, because I think my hobby case of 2017 Bowman was $797 for a 12 box case of Bowman in 2017. I think 2018 it went to, and I lost money. I was ripping and flipping, and I lost like a couple $100 on that rip and flip. And then 2018 it went to like 1,200, 1,250 maybe for a hobby case of 12 boxes. So it went basically from like $75 a box to 100 going into 2018. And I'm like, I lost money at 800. There's no way I'm paying 1,300 for a case of Bowman. And now today it's like 3,600 for that same case. The only Topps gold that matter are the Topps Gold winner cards. It has to be said. Don't forget black gold. I was a big black gold fan back in like '93 when those first came out. Those are those are some cool cards. I wonder if I have any. Let's see, I think that was '93. '93 black gold. See if I have any gold winners. Got some Willie Mays up here. I got Bernie the Brewer. I thought that would sell. There's a lot of mascot collectors out there. That's in my eBay store. Here's a Roger Topps Gold. And I think back in the 90s, I think gold you got a gold every pack, if I'm not mistaken. Back in the 90s. And then it went to like one every 2 packs. And that could have been late 90s. And then yeah, as we saw, by 2019, it was one every 5 packs. And now it's one. And what were the odds on gold? 38 packs. Odds, and then you see people at the Rip Party posting, Topps gave me this, doing a giveaway of Tatis Auto of 10. So much of this is not even in products. Topps has run out of ideas. Hey, there's a great point. Topps has run out of ideas again with the 87 design inserts in 2022. We just had those in 2017 and everything in between. I am tired of the 87 border. It was awesome. And now it's been, I'm going to use Ken's expression, shoved down our throats. And so, yeah, so now I just ignore the damn 87 borders. It's a bit too much. How about first edition? There's 2022 Topps Series 1 first edition. Not only are they printing Topps Series 1 to the moon, they're going to throw some first edition at you. Zero interest in Topps first edition. I actually no longer am interested in Bowman first edition after the issues they had this in with Bowman Draft, where you didn't even receive your Bowman Draft first edition until after Bowman Draft came out. The reason for first edition was it gives you a preview of what's coming in the upcoming product. And they had some issues and it was delayed and it came after the actual product. So the old and same with first edition. You're going to get first edition after, Topps is released. Today's the official street date. And first edition was, I think it goes on sale to the public today. I think it was available, or maybe Montgomery Club today. I saw it yesterday pop up, and it's like, give me a break. Zero interest. Will not be looking at that at all. Ken says 13-year-old me thought the gold winner cards would be worth more because they had more gold on them. I thought the same thing. That was our mindset back then. Gold winners were 92. Black gold was 94. Oh, black gold was 94. I was looking at the wrong. I thought black gold was 93. So look, 94. I've got a Jim Thome gold from 94. Another Jim Thome. Ozzie Guillen. Cal Ripken. Let's see. I thought I had a black gold of some. Maybe it's sold already. No black gold. No gold winners. Let's see. Where are we at? Ken says 1992 golds were scarce, like one a box, and then 93 went to one per pack. Okay. So yeah, I remember at one point they were one per pack, and 92 was one per box. So 92 was the initial year, and then 93 they ramped up the presses. If it's being shoved down your throat, you're buying the wrong stuff. You got a point. I don't like it. I shouldn't buy it. John Newman's line, vintage has no lockout. Good stuff right there. Absolutely. So I'm not excited about Topps Series 1. Here's the thing. If I find it, if I go to Target today and the stock, the vendor has stocked it early, which he has done in past years, I'm going to be excited. And when I tear into that first pack, I'm going to be excited. I'm going to get false hope. My optimism waning. But if I see it, I have it in hand, I'm going to be excited and I'm going to want more. But right now, I typically I get FOMO. Like I see these breaks. I didn't watch any of the top stuff last night. I know Ivan was with Ryan Sandberg last night at the Rip Party. But I didn't have much interest in consuming any of that content. Jenny says, if the lockout goes into the season, are we going to be here in 1 year and saying how overproduced 2023 is, or will we see a drop in this hobby? That's a good question. If the lockout goes into the season, are we going to be here in a year saying how overproduced 2023 is? Well, if the lockout goes into the season, they're not going to ramp up production next year. It'll probably be the same, and maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the crash. Maybe we're in for a crash. Maybe the lockout does go into the season. We only get a half of a season, and people lose interest in baseball, and in turn, baseball cards. And we had this massive increase in production of Top Series 1 in 2022 going into a lockout season, and people have lost interest in 2023. Now, all of a sudden, there's a glut of product and there's far less demand. Ring a bell 30 years ago. So who knows? Bo, then Bitcoin and electric cars are the wrong stuff. They are everywhere. I bet Bo finds AEW today. I hope so. I want more of that. I'm looking, like, I've looked on eBay just to find like AEW boxes, for like, I'd pay $30, but you can't find them. I think the cheapest I've seen is $35 in retail. Okay, I didn't understand that one. Dan says, I've had FOMO in 2020 and 2021 with some Burley stuff and spent more than I should. I can only see a crash in baseball, though, not football, basketball, hockey, NASCAR, etc. Still going crazy. Yeah, I think any lockout related impact would be baseball exclusive. Says, I hope there's not a production cut. The more people buy, stay away from the stuff I want. There you go. Herman says, my excitement for Series 1 comes from wanting to build another set. That's awesome. Here's another reason why I'm not too excited. The Cubs checklist kind of sucks. I mean, the Cubs kind of suck. So I get it. But used to, in the Bryant Rizzo years, they shoved Cubs cards down our throats, and it was kind of nice to have a whole bunch of Cubs cards in Topps products. And now I think there's 5 Cubs on the checklist. We got Contreras, Hendricks, I think Hayward, Patrick Wisdom, and there's a 5th player. I can't remember who the 5th player was. Frank Schwindel was not on a Series 1 checklist. That's a travesty. So I'm sure he'll be in Series 2. So that's another reason. Like the Cubs checklist kind of sucks. So I'm not too excited to see. There's no like real new Cubs. The Patrick Wisdom will be a rookie Gold Cup, so that'll be cool. But outside of that, there's no rookies. I don't think there's a Cubs rookie. So that's kind of a bummer. At least the Cubs Series 1 checklist isn't like yours from last year. Yeah, that was 2020. The Lone Ranger, which was he was an outfielder, because the first game I went to spring training in 2020, I was in the berm at the Rangers facility, and he was starting in, I think, center field. I can't remember who that was, but yeah, 1 Texas Ranger card in 2020 Series 1. And this is the last year I get a Freeman and a Braves uniform. That was bad last year with the Rangers. And I think that had something to do with the logo they put on the front of the cards, where they were going to have like they had a commemorative, was it Arlington Stadium? Something to do with a logo they had on the Rangers cards that year, and only 1 got in the checklist. So that's what I had for today. Topps release day, Bittersweet. Yeah, I'm kind of excited that, hey, it's Topps. It's a new year, but is it? We don't know. And the news that's come out regarding the negotiations has not been positive lately. But I try to find that glimmer of light that, hey, it's gonna happen. So we'll see. I'm not even excited to chase the twin stuff this year because I have so many gaps of parallels from the past couple years. It's almost tiresome to chase these. I've actually gone on, a lot of people have gone the vintage route, and really what I don't even look at modern Cubs stuff when I'm buying modern Cubs. I'll buy commons, a common box, flat rate box, stuff like that of Cubs just to keep pushing toward a million. But when I'm at a card show looking to spend like on a nice card, I'll there's like one Chris Bryant card that that's a higher end card that I'm wanting, a couple Javi Baez, but it's like I'd rather have the pre-war, the tobacco cards. Um, I looked up the during Ken and Herman show last night, the Chuck Connors Mother's Cookies from 1951 or 52. When that was mentioned on the show last night, I'm thinking, well, he Connors was a Cub, and I think he played for the Dodgers also. So the card in the baseball reference, and sure enough, it's basically a Cubs minor league card of Chuck Connors, the rifleman. He was pictured with the Los Angeles Angels, not to be confused with today's major league club, but the Los Angeles Angels were a Pacific Coast League team. They were the AAA affiliate of the Cubs back in the 50s. I don't know, I think it was AAA back then still. So that's on my want list. There's only two listed on eBay, and the cheapest is $500. So it's going to be on my want list for a while. I prefer to have one in an SGC slab. I just like SGC better. I like the look of those better. But yeah, I've been more, if I'm at a show, I'm not going to the modern tables. If cards come to me, yeah, I had somebody bring back a slab. Yeah, you buying anything? And I'm like, not really, but I'll take a look. And I think it was the Ray Wave, and I'm just curious what your price is. It was like $200, and I'm like, I can get a nice tobacco card for $200, and maybe wait 5 years and Christian Hernandez doesn't turn into Alex Rodriguez, and it's a $5 card. So yeah, I'm spending my money more on the vintage side than the modern stuff. Although I still get into breaks, the Bowman draft breaks, the Elite Extra Edition. I still like some of those. If they're a decent price, I'll buy them. But I'm not going to spend a couple $100 on a prospect. Let's see. My issue with vintage or even junk wax era is it doesn't spark joy. I don't know the players unless it's Herbeck, or Puckett. What's up, DR? Good morning to Dan. Good morning, all. Hope everybody has a great day. I wish MLB would have spent more time with the Union than they did sneaking around with Fanatics, right? What do you like more about SGC slabs, the black border? I've never seen one in person, but I like the PSA better, I think. I don't know if I have. Hang on. I'm gonna run out to the other room because I have some of my vintage, and I'm just gonna show off a comparison of an SGC slab vintage compared to PSA. So I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, so I have some of my vintage here, and I just want to show off. Okay, I've got some Beckett. I do not like Beckett slabs for some reason. I need somewhere to put these where they won't fall. Let's see. So we're comparing SGC to PSA on vintage. I don't think I have a PSA slab tobacco like T206, which you can really tell the difference. So I want to show off a similar card. Gosh, do I even have one in here? Okay, here's There's an old one. SGC, another Beckett. Like all my Chris Bryants are in Beckett's. There's a Beckett slab. I might like the Beckett slabs better than PSA. There's a PSA. There's a PSA. So it doesn't really. Okay, so that's a T205. So, okay, so here's why I like SGC. Oh, I need to make 2 piles. Those are going to fall. Okay, so here's an example of this is my only PSA slab for vintage. So it's not going to justice. It's not a good comparison here. So this is a PSA slab in actually a large. It's a 53 Bowman color. It's a little larger card. But what I'm talking about, and this is a perfect example. So so if this was a tobacco card, it's only going to take up a percentage of what this space would, and the rest is going to be clear, like clear plastic. Whereas in SGC, looks really nice framed. It's got the black background. It's not clear. So if this was PSA, all of that black you see around the card is clear, and it just doesn't match up well with the actual card. So that's and I wish I had. Usually I don't buy PSA slabbed tobacco cards because they just look like crap in my eyes. So that's kind of a comparison. And I thought I had PSA slab tobacco, and I may somewhere, but I've got some stuff that I'm going to send off to SGC sometime eventually. I keep talking about it, but I haven't yet. So let's go to the chat. Let's see. So we talked on that. Dan says, any Cubs players you met in person who were total douches? Let's see. Not that I can, usually that's something you remember. No, like not in person. I haven't had a bad experience with any Cubs players that really come to mind. I'm trying to think if there's been anybody that's like, oh man, that guy's a prick. Gosh, no. Like, I mean, there's some guys that are standoffish and refuse to sign, but that's hey, that's their thing. But not like I haven't experienced any like douchiness of a player. That's I haven't fortunately I haven't had any poor experiences with players, one-on-one or in a small group. Herman says, once I finish my 72 set and I start buying again, I'm going to go back to some of the older food cards. Ken says, did you tell the guy selling the Red Wave you could get a great vintage for that? Would love to have seen his face. He was a young kid. He probably so young that 90s is probably vintage to him. Because he was probably like high school age kid. So like he was probably born in 2005. How long was 2005? Yeah, 17. Yeah. So he was probably born in like 2005. So the 90s, so 1990 to him would have been like 1967 to me. And I consider 1967 vintage. So Jenny says, not a Cub, but my dad met Jack Moore D-bag. I've actually heard stories of Jack Morris not being a very nice person. Any of you have Sport Flixels 86, 87, 88, 90? Dan, I do. I will send you some because Dan, by the way, I don't know if you caught it yesterday, but Dan, I received a package from you yesterday. Jenny, I received an envelope from you. Who else? Herman, I received something from you. I have not opened any of them. Brad, I've received a couple envelopes from, and a bunch of other people. And I have like a pile of stuff that I'm gonna open at some point. So thank you, and I'll get some stuff back to you guys. So Dan, I'll gather up. I have a bunch of Sport Flicks. I bet if you do a 2-minute short video about why you like SGC slabs better than PSA, it will turn into a highly watched video. That's a good point. I even have an SGC hat that I'll wear. PSA is simple and clean. I I'm not gonna disagree with that, but I just on a tobacco card, it doesn't have eye appeal to me. I don't like the clear. I like the black matte behind the tobacco card. Looks like a framed piece of art. SGC, SGC. Those were cards I didn't want to toss, and maybe you could make a few pennies from them. Um, Sounds good. So that's what I had. Make a video at some point. I need to buy a new. Hey, there's a good reason to go check out the card section. I've got to buy a new cell phone tripod so I can do my nostalgia breaks. So I've still got Spider-Man on my break table out there. So I've got to get to that. Um, that's all. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great Top Series 1 release day. Don't go crazy looking at Twitter and seeing all the Tops talk. Um, have a great one, and we'll chat tomorrow.